You are looking at one of California's rarest gems. I must have it. I must gaze upon it. For the past 2 weeks, I've developed an obsession with an elite group of gas stations. Gas stations that are like hidden Easter eggs. They tell a story of corporate history and branding and are honestly the only gas station. I will travel across the country to see. I can feel it. Do you see it? Let's back up a bit. I want to explain at the surface level what's going on here. This is the Chevron gas logo today, and this is the standard logo. Both are in use today. This is a Chevron gas station sign. This is a standard gas station sign. They are both owned by Chevron. Here's an old picture that shows it. Why? Our best official clue is this screen grab from Chevron Now, an internal company magazine. Showed up in 1997. It says, the company keeps the brand in shape by selecting service stations in each of the 16 states of its marketing area. The story is that Chevron runs, in each of the states in which it operates, one standard gas station to keep their trademark alive. And this all connects to the landmark dissolution of the company in 1911. More on that later. A lot more. I wanted to find every one of them. I had a map and I had a dream. But I started to worry that that dream would die. I started clicking through chevron after chevron, and my map was outdated. It was wrong. Outside Portland, I was supposed to find one. I found an old picture, and it was gone. Had I made the same mistake as Icarus? Had I flown too close to the sun? I persisted. I found the standard station in Beaverton, Oregon. I've never felt more alive. But I needed to assemble a team. I frantically typed out a message to the YouTube community for a secret project. When people reached the station in their location, they would send me a video back or a spy-like message to communicate that they were at the station and were ready to talk to me. And so over the next few days, it was on. Lake Worth Beach, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia. One lantern in the Old North Church.
So yeah, this thing's been here forever. It's got one of the best taquito restaurants in town, in like the whole food mart behind it. And this neighborhood was actually supposed to be replaced by a highway. And the whole reason it's a neighborhood and the reason that this station is still here is because the neighborhood association formed in the late 50s to push back against it.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, the lovely Standard Oil gas station, Phoenix, Arizona.
Here we are at the Standard gas station.
Anchorage, Alaska. Las Vegas, Nevada. Bellevue, Washington.
I've been here many times and never noticed that the Standard was any different.
It basically looks like the Chevron logo. Actually, on Google Maps, it just says Chevron.
Midland, Texas. Taylorsville, Utah.
Driven past it a few times and never noticed.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Boise, Idaho.
But this is actually the owner of this station. What was your name?
Dick.
Dick?
Yeah, it's Chevron service.
Dick Chevron Service is the name of this particular location?
Yeah.
How long have you run it for?
62 years.
62 years.
The Condor has landed. I didn't find them all. Despite calling around in Alabama and Mississippi, I was standardless. But I did know one thing. I had one gem that I had left to find. The last remaining standard station in California. The one in Frisco Town. And I also had a question. How did a brand name that today is one-click kitsch, how did it become a rarity? Friends, it is time for an epic travel montage.
Now I'm already here. Did you really need 2 minutes of me saying, gosh, traveling is so glamorous?
Thought I'd class the place up a bit.
Standard Oil was once a titan. This is Teddy Roosevelt, and this is John D. Rockefeller, and this guy's Nelson Aldrich, a senator who loved Standard. And that octopus is standard imagery. When it got busted up in 1911 by the US Supreme Court, it was an epoch-making decision. Which of your decisions last made an epoch, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. No. I love this illustration, created by a standard descendant for its apocalyptic energy. An asteroid hits standard, boom! 34 baby standards pop out. Some of them use new non-standard brand names like Perfection Oil. But this paper, this is like my Rosetta Stone. It taught me that a bunch of these new companies used the standard name, and that came with problems. Let's draw out a simplified version on the screen here with 3 of the biggest standard babies. Imagine Standard Oil of New Jersey, Standard Oil of Indiana, and Standard Oil of California. Standard Jersey really can't go on Standard Indiana's turf. Standard Indiana has a trademark where it operates. So if Jersey comes in, it can't just say, I'm standard, because there already is a standard there. Same for California to Indiana, Indiana to California, and so on and so on. The glorious standard brand kind of becomes a limitation because you can't expand onto new turf with that old brand name. So they end up making up new brands. Esso is one of these. SO, get it? That's Standard Oil of New Jersey. Standard merged with Humble and they built Esso. Look at this ad. They literally have to say, not connected with Standard Oil Company, Indiana. They still get in some legal trouble, and they lean into the Humble name when they go on rival turf. Standard Oil of Indiana sticks with Standard to some degree, but then when they merge with Amoco, they start using that name everywhere, except for their old turf. They ultimately ditch Standard for the Amoco brand. They want to put their money behind the brand that has national potential. A lot later, they get sucked up into BP. And Standard stations start becoming Chevron stations, so Standard California can go national. With all these new names, the companies can invade each other's territory, merge, whatever. And so it gradually dies out almost everywhere with just a few exceptions. One of those exceptions is Chevron, which decides that one store in each state is enough to keep the trademark alive if they ever want to bring it back again. And tomorrow, the plan is to go see it. Dawn is breaking. When light breaks upon her face, I never thought such beauty I might see. It's perfect. Okay, so I don't know what's gonna happen to the Standard name. I don't think it's ever gonna come back. All Chevrons are gonna be renamed Standards. But they are trying to keep it alive, at least in most of the states where they operate. But it's clear that it's kind of just a relic now. One of the biggest brands in the world. It's just on top of a logo that most people think of as Chevron. I think the best takeaway from this is the understanding that brands really are kind of like an octopus. They are a living thing.
What do you think the Rockefeller would have thought of this? Isn't that, behold, the legacy of his kingdom.
But today, Standard Oil is just a few dots on a map, kept alive as a likely legal hedge. Standards aren't born, they're made. Or else, they end up on the shelf. Hey, what is up? I thought I'd just stop in this random park. Honestly, I can't top seeing San Francisco's most iconic landmark, the Standard gas station. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. If you haven't been here before, this is a personal channel. I post personal videos, history videos, and I hunt for gas stations that I cannot be stopped. Thank you so much to all of you for supplying me with so much footage of amazing gas stations from around the country. I got excited every time I saw one, not gonna lie. It really was quite thrilling for me to see those standard signs. Hope it was for you too. There's a reaction video to this one up on Patreon. I do that. I have commentary, behind the scenes stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I'm probably gonna go to the airport. Really nothing to see other than the standard, kind of starting at the best. All right, bye.